baby.
All right, dudes. Thanks for coming, man. This is cool. Welcome to my basement, where we do all our podcasting. You were telling me about first of all, we've got Nick and Chayse of TVs of Terror right now, and be really cool to hear about. I think I've been to like maybe the first TVs of Terror that you guys did in Halloween of
we went
last
free
year.
pizza and
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was
really
sick.
fun.
Yeah. That's us, yeah.
The first one we did was September, the month of September.
September 28th.
Okay.
And it was kind of a long one. We've trimmed it down to, kind of.
Yeah, you guys had the couch and you did like the whole.
you have the old school TV over there on the side, the smoke machine.
Oh, I did the
It was like
setup. It was
the whole
awesome,
thing.
yeah.
We still have every bit of that, but we did a double feature that night. It was
Yeah, our
Yes.
first two were double features. We
Okay,
wanted to start
yeah.
out big.
The whole thing. I thought it was just going to be kind of centered around September, October, Halloween thing, but you guys have kept it going. So how's it been? You aren't doing the double features anymore though.
We did one. We've done three total. The first two were double features, and then we did a Valentine's Day double feature.
Okay.
It's kind of just based on that one. So that one was supposed to be a collaborative event with my friend Anthony, who runs a horror literature program at the O'Neill Library called Under the Mountain. And so he was just getting it started, and so it was kind of a way to cross promote that with an author event that he had. A guy coming into town named Stephen Graham Jones, and so we had him basically give us 5 or 6 movies to pick from, and we just chose 2, and we just collaborated on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, who's the dude that was coming into town? Is that like somebody I should know about?
Yeah, Stephen Graham Jones. I can't remember where he's from, but no, he just writes horror literature and everything.
Okay, okay.
Kind of a newer author, but he drew a pretty big crowd at his book event, which is entirely a result of being featured on our program. So,
Oh, sure. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. What's the book or anything I would have heard of recently?
I really should know the name of this book.
there's a
No.
chainsaw one.
That good.
Oh yeah, My Heart is a Chainsaw was the new one.
Okay.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to be wrong.
Yeah. Well, he
Heart
had
is a
one.
Chainsaw.
I think it's like the Only Good Indians or something, or I think that was the one before it. But that's kind of how Anthony tacked onto him, and then when he was releasing that, they were like, "All right, let's do because the book is basically about a girl who loves slasher movies, and so it kind of fit with us because it's like, well, we basically do a lot of horror movies,
Yeah.
And so we just picked 2 that kind of fit the bill, and it was a funny event. It was a trial.
Yeah, that was like the biggest challenge I think we've had so far. Every one that we've done has been amazing, very fun. Even that one.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of hiccups on that one. And that's sort of the crux of why we don't do double features. We just don't have enough time to set up and test everything.
Sure. Well, like, what is one of the, if you don't mind me asking, what's one of the hiccups that you guys had? Because the one we went to, just for anybody that hasn't been to TVs of Terror, you guys have like this cool retro couch set up in the corner, and the film started, and you guys give away free pizza and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really fun, and it's a free event.
It's
At
a free
least
event, free food, free, I guess you'd call it entertainment. We're entertainers. So, yeah, we bring this living room setup just to kind of set the scene.
It's his living room
Oh
setup.
no.
Spammers. What did I tell everybody? To silence their phones. Sorry, that's on me.
I'm just glad it wasn't me.
And it's a spam call too. It's not even like
Should have answered.
Anything good?
I should have. Well, nah, we'll never know. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Rookie.
I'm totally leaving that.
Rookie.
Yeah, just to set the scene, it's like a living room that we kind of set up inside of Saturn to make it feel, homey.
It's actually his living room.
It's actually my living
Is it
room.
really?
Oh, really?
Pretty much.
You just bring your
Not the-
furniture.
Not the couch itself, but like the blankets and lamp and
Okay.
rug.
Hey, that's a write-off though, isn't it? Using your own.
In a way,
Yeah.
but yeah. I just bring my microwave for the popcorn because we don't have a detachable microwave at Saturn.
Oh,
So, insider information.
What? Saturn doesn't have a microwave?
Well, we have a microwave, but it can't leave the green room because it's attached to the wall.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
One time we blew I think we blew a fuse or something.
Yeah, we ruined an episode of. I think it was. I want to say
It was Paul's show. I think
it was Paul's show on Substrate, because originally we had the microwave plugged in at the merch table, and that has a bunch of stuff attached to it, a bunch of lights and all
they got
that.
the Substrate studio.
So it's on the same circuit, I guess, as that, and I guess running the microwave and the lights for an extended period of time just like killed their show right in the middle of it. And we were just kind of watching the movie, and someone's like, "Hey, guys, you need to turn off the microwave." It's like, what? It's like, oh, this Substrate just like we blew a fuse, it went down, the lights are all off. It's like, okay. So now we plug it up on the back bar.
Okay,
it's safer that way.
Man.
Okay, well,
that was just our subversive way of saying our show is more important.
It is. I mean, absolutely. Come on.
I'm not saying it was planned.
Live radio,
Popcorn.
horror movies, popcorn. Yeah. Well, how did this thing get started? And how did the partnership? I mean, obviously Saturn is a rad venue. It's a really cool place to host such a cool event.
Oh, yeah.
Had you guys? I assume you guys have been friends before this and started kicking around the idea to do a horror movie night or something.
We kind of knew each other before this.
Still not friends.
Oh, okay. All right.
They're getting there.
Get that
Close.
Weren't supposed to talk about that.
Get the relationship demographics here.
But yeah, I work at Saturn, and so
Okay.
I had done a screening series there before called Sonic Visions, and it lasted basically up until COVID hit, and like our last one was in February of 2020. So yeah, but when we came back, reopened, I was given the opportunity to do just kind of a one-off screening there by Brian, and I didn't know I had ideas for movies to screen, but they didn't really say this is going to be an exciting night of entertainment. And so it was like I needed something, and then I think we were just at the Crestwood Tavern one night, our friend Rolf, and Chayse was there, and I was kind of explaining what I was thinking, and then Chayse had an idea for a hook, and it was why not screen it all on VHS?
Yeah.
I have a lot of them.
Dude, I was looking at your you wear many hats. I know you play in a lot of bands and stuff around town, and I didn't know you did the whole VHS thing. I don't know if you're still doing that.
Okay, so that's your account.
Yeah, you had like a whole page of
Yeah.
like where you find these, I guess, rare VHS and usually hard themed.
Mostly, and that's what I like to collect. And it's always been something I've just done kind of in the background. Like so like most of my time is spent like music or work or whatever. But my side hobby was just like I loved collecting like old horror movies.
I don't think we have a VHS collection back there. I don't think we have any horror movies.
No horror.
I have
Beetlejuice, I guess that's the closest thing to horror.
Horror.
I have like a blockbuster's worth of movies.
Really?
Just
He's
in
not
my living
kidding.
room.
Dude, wow.
It's like thousands of horror tapes. Just
Thousands.
Yeah.
That's so
Oh my
cool.
gosh.
That's so cool.
Well, how did you get into that?
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing it?
I think I've probably been collecting at least 10 years. Probably like 2008 or 9.
Wow.
I think I really got like hooked because you could go to a thrift store and pick them up for like 50 cents.
Yeah.
Now the whole market has changed, and it's like some of the tapes I have, they're like hundreds of dollars.
Whoa.
It's crazy how things go in circles like that. Like it goes from being like when VHS first hit, it was the Cat's Meow, it was awesome. And then there's a point where it's just like you can't give away a tube TV. You can't give away VHS tapes. No one has a VCR player. And then it makes this weird swing where all of a sudden it's like trying to find a working VCR. We've looked. You can't find them.
Yeah.
A cool retro tube TV, get out, man. They're like
forget about
hundreds of dollars to
forget
try to
about
find to buy them online. And I assume VHS tapes, especially like the cool ones, go the same way.
Yeah, I think horror specifically has this like weird like cult following and draw, and I'm in a lot of like nerdy groups on Facebook where everyone's always looking for the same tapes, and when you finally find one or you trade someone a tape or several tapes for one tape that you've been after for a long time, it's just like this rush, and it's always just fun sharing those stupid movies with your friends.
That's so cool.
So do you have any like unicorns, like tapes you're really proud of?
Oh yeah, I mean all the big boxes like they're like slightly bigger than
They're like oversized.
Yeah, they're
It's almost like a
oversized.
Disney
mean the
type.
clamshell
Which
thing?
we have the
It's like-
Oliver and Company
Yeah.
VHS.
It's even bigger than a clam. So that's a clamshell.
This is a clam.
It's bigger than that.
It's bigger than that.
It's like a book.
I should have brought some for show and tell.
Dude,
would've
I
been
know,
cool.
man. Let's learn about VHS.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That was an oversight.
Is this worth anything?
No.
Oliver and Company? I guess
It's
Maybe.
worth.
You could
priceless.
fool people into thinking it's worth something.
Yeah.
Could put some money in there, and then I think that would be
Yeah. No, I mean it's all like
The
perceived,
underground world of VHS.
It's all
collectors.
perceived market value though, because like it's not really worth anything.
It's only worth as much as somebody's willing
Willing
to
to
pay for
pay.
it.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's the thing is with that market, it's just gone crazy. People will pay literally $1,000 for a tape. I have this movie called Video Violence. It's probably worth $2,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Video violence.
Very shittily made movie.
Oh, I've
Like
got.
shot
We're
on
going to get
video.
into the whole
Yeah.
realm of because I have so many questions. But
Yeah, I mean, Goodwills are they're still throwing away VHS. When they get them now, they just throw them in the trash. They don't even
Really?
put them on the shelves anymore. So it's getting harder to find them. Just
because they don't have any concept of
Yeah.
the value of them at this point.
there's no more supply. The supply that is existent is dwindling, and the demand is just going.
well, that's. I mean, yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, that's how value is created when the supply is diminished.
Right.
Then when something becomes rare, then that's when the price of it skyrockets and stuff. We shout out to my buddy who does the vintage Shih Tzu, I think is how you say his business name. But one of the things that was kind of cool is like when he first started collecting like vintage clothing and everybody, that's like another thing that's just taken off, you know, the mom's market and all these markets that pop up at Saturn or at Saturn and Cahaba, you know, the punk rock flea market stuff. It's like everybody's after these like rare old shirts and jackets and clothing and jeans and denim or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And he said that the thrift stores and stuff that he would shop at when he first got into it, he could find all kinds of stuff. But then they kind of got smart to it. Like they actually realized the value
They start
in the
like
clothing.
Yeah, they start
America's
Googling-
Thrift Store has like an eBay page now.
Yeah.
and like their own like they have a store that's set up almost like Urban Outfitters now, but it's like America's Thrift Store.
And it's catering to the collectors
Yes.
and to the, you know, the
Wow.
Yeah,
people that are after
will
that
pay
stuff.
for it.
Yeah, because I get ads like that on Instagram all the time, and it's America's Thrift Store. They
But I'm
want
surprised.
$60.
I feel like they've picked up on the tube TVs too, because I know when you go into a thrift store, you can't find really any old school like TVs. And I don't know if that's just because maybe they're just coming few and far between, or if other people come in and snatch them up. But it's just interesting to me how something can go from being completely worthless to all of a sudden. It's like now everybody wants it. Like I had to hunt for this little tube TV we have on our fridge behind me.
Yeah, well, with tube TVs too, and a lot of just older electronics, you have fewer and fewer people that are specialized in fixing and repairing these old junk TVs. So
Find
it's
a
really
one that's
nice.
in good shape.
Yes, you have to like go to like maybe an estate sale where people have taken care of it over the years and get lucky.
Yeah, I bought this one off Facebook Marketplace. And it was a guy who had kept it for like 30 years in his kitchen, just on his counter. And I guess he didn't realize the value of it because he listed it for like $30. And I messaged him right away, and I was like, "Dude, I'll meet you anywhere and come get this TV." He had the remote with it and everything.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, "You could probably sell this for like $100, easy, you know." And it works with the old Nintendo, like you know the gun for like Duck Hunt doesn't work with like the newer monitors and stuff. And
That's
I
good
don't
to
know.
know.
It's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm surprised. All that to come back to say that I'm surprised that you said that thrift stores and stuff are just throwing away VHS tapes. And I mean, there's still probably a lot of them out there, especially ones that like no one really cares about, like Jungle Book 2 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Well, there's a
plenty
lot of
those.
Jerry Maguires out there.
A lot of Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire, you got to snap those up, man.
I know.
Somebody's
Snatch those
doing
up.
it. Yeah.
Jerry Maguire, show me the money.
Well, cool. Well, going back to the TVs of Terror thing, I guess that answers my question, how you guys got your foot in the door with Saturn. So
Yeah.
are you the guy to go to if I had like a cool idea for something I wanted to do?
I mean, sure, I'll listen to it. I can't do anything about it, though. No, I'm just the box office manager. So really, I can sell you a ticket to something or tell you when the show is.
Well, I don't know personally anybody that works there, so you're the first one. So
Well, hey.
at least I've got like a foot in the door.
Oh, yeah. No. Well, that's like the way that we schedule everything basically is because I have access to like the office
The
and
calendar
the calendar.
and
So
stuff,
basically,
yeah.
kind of. Usually we try. I think we kind of have worked somewhere between like a month and a month and a half out, and we just look at whatever nights are available on the schedule because usually we have to default to whatever's not taken up by like a touring act or something.
Sure,
And everything has holds on it until a certain point, and then if there's nothing kind of promising for that, we'll kind of give it to us. But we get kind of a pick. Like we do have some choice in it, depending on if we want to do it. I mean, kind of depending on if we want to make the event a little bit bigger. Like we're angling for eventually doing a big like weekend party event. We've only done one weekend day, and it was for our second one is Troll 2 and Cyst.
Whoa. Troll 2, dude.
Yeah.
I actually
Don't we have that poster?
Yeah, we got the poster.
Wait, so is it the one? It's like glow in the dark.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to dark. It's just like a paper poster.
Okay.
But we went to shout out Bottle Tree before it was Saturn. Rodney Scott's, whatever it is now. They had a screening there of Troll 2. I was probably still in college when that happened. And they had some of the cast there, which was kind of cool. They like autographed the poster and stuff.
Yeah, so it turns out one of them lives in
Alexander City. I think it's
Alexander City. I'm shortening it.
Yeah, one of the dudes like a dentist or something.
He's a dentist now. George Hardy, shout out. He's actually a good friend of mine now.
Oh, really?
So I went down there with the sole intent of hooking him into like doing another screening at Birmingham, but I also needed my teeth cleaned. So I show up and like he's like in the middle of cleaning my teeth, and I'm like, I'm a really big fan. and I brought my VHS that I'd had for years. Like I didn't even have to say a word like about it. He's like, "Oh, I want to sign everything you have," and he just like loved talking about it. You could tell he was like really passionate and like super sweet. And I was like, I would love to have you do this thing that you did again at Saturn, and just like sold out. Like everyone was way into it. He was way into it.
Yeah.
Oh, so y'all did it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, this was like me, like just several years back. It was like 2017.
This is before the TVs Of Terror.
This is separate thing.
So it was 2017. We put this event on, and we got we became kind of close after that. And he would just like call me out of the blue and say like, hey, I got this great idea. I want to like run past you about like doing another showing. He's always wanting to like share this, his talents.
Yeah. Well, I know they did a documentary about Troll 2.
Yeah.
And it was like the making of and how it was such a, kind of a bad movie that ended up being awesome. The
name of the documentary is The Best Worst Movie.
The Best Worst Movie or something. Yeah. And so I never saw the documentary, but I did see the trailer for it. And I think he talked about it at the event that I went to. God, it must have been 10 years ago now.
I remember that event. I was definitely there.
It was cool. And he got the other guy. It was just him, but he got the other guy, the oh my God guy.
Yeah.
He got him on the phone.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he did that line over the
good.
phone. So
Good.
Everybody who hasn't seen Troll 2, go check it out. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Please do.
That was our second movie we did in October together. So basically, fast forward several years later, we had our first one in September, and then the second month, the month of October, we were like, we have to do this. It's like October, it'd be fun. He'll come up for it, and he did. And he also was in this new movie with Greg Sestero from The Room.
Okay.
It's called Cyst. Yeah. Oh, hi, Mark.
Well,
he's
he is
Mark.
Mark. Yeah.
Oh, he's Mark. Okay.
Yeah. So they're in this movie together called Cyst, and it's so gruesome. Or it's just like grotesque.
Okay.
It's extremely goofy.
Yeah, very goofy. Check it out. It's called Cyst.
It is actually surprisingly awesome.
And George Hardy really hams it up. It's like a good movie. And we premiered that movie along.
Oh, you guys did the premiere. Okay.
Yeah, it worked out that that screening was the first time that it was shown out, I guess, outside of a festival in the US. Yeah.
Whoa.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. Going back to the genre in general, what is it about? And it seems, I'm sure with thousands of VHSs, I mean, how do you guys choose the films that you're going to show at these events? And how often are you doing them? I think that was
Once
one of
a
the
month.
questions. Yeah, you do it once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Once a month at Saturn. Usually it falls like middle of the month sometime.
Well,
and people always ask us like, is it always a weekday? Like,
It's just whenever.
It's
For anybody that's
Pretty much
wondering, it's
whenever.
basically whenever this calendar
Yeah.
opens up. Yeah.
You'll know when we know. Yeah, our next one is Tuesday, So yeah, this coming Tuesday. So
This
the
coming
19th.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Tuesday the 19th, we're showing Chopping Mall.
Chopping
I
Mall.
saw that.
Yeah, I saw your little video that you did, and if Instagram wasn't messed up, I would pull it up right now. But
that's fine.
give us a brief synopsis of what this fine film has in store for anyone that comes to watch it. What is this movie about?
So it's a late '80s Roger Corman movie about. I guess it's kind of a mix of a sci-fi and a horror movie. I guess sci-fi is kind of a loose way of putting it, but basically it's about a bunch of kids who camp out in a mall overnight. Most of them are employees at the mall, and they get trapped when the security system malfunctions and the newly instituted security robots go haywire and start murdering people.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a we
very
watched
plausible plot there.
Hey, if I know anything
mean,
about robots, yeah.
they're all murderers. They want to kill and feed on the blood of humans.
Yeah, it's a wild one. I actually only seen it once before the other night when we were watching it, kind of doing some prep work, and it's a zany one, but it's a lot of fun.
Now, will you guys be doing the Q&A afterwards? Do y'all still do that?
Less of a Q&A, more of a... We just like...
I don't know what you call it, but you talk about it.
Yeah. We like to talk about our favorite parts of the movie because we're excited to show it, and we want to just share our favorite parts.
Yeah.
And then we kind of wrap that up, and we do like a lightning round trivia just to keep people on their toes.
See if everybody's
It's like a comprehension of the film that you just watched.
Yeah.
It's a lot of low-hanging fruit questions, and it is basically kind of like, you should remember this. It happened 15 minutes ago.
Right.
But yeah, we basically, it's kind of a two-step process. We have a raffle ticket that you pick up at the door, and then at the end we call a few numbers, and we basically then you raffle into the trivia competition. So it's entirely random there, and it's just like, say it as fast as you can. If you have an answer, just blurt it out.
Oh, so you bring them up front.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
introduce them.
It's like a game show after the end of the movie.
Right. We completely embarrass them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
It's public humiliation at its finest.
Well, that's cool, man. Well, how did you guys land on Chopping Mall of all the other films that you could show? Or how do you...
We actually just have a list
This one
of
was
movies.
actually kind of tough because we try and do kind of a mix of things that are like more obvious and less obvious. So like for the first one, we went pretty obscure. Terror Vision and Video Dead, both very goofy movies, but not like very cult films, not ones that people like know a lot about. Troll 2 kind of in a way was that too, but it has a renown now because of the documentary. But then like say in January we did Demon Warp, which is to describe the movie is to you just it helps nothing. You would have to just see it. But like we try and go back and forth between bigger and smaller films. And so for Chopping Mall, I guess the last one was Return of the Living Dead, which was a bigger film.
Yeah, that's
I think.
big, yeah.
And we've done The Fog. So like
okay, so you do have some,
we throw
some
in
blockbusters
hits.
in there from time to time.
But it's all in how we wrote people in with some of the like more mainstream stuff, and then we hit them with something really stupid and bizarre and like just kind of off the radar.
Yeah.
And this one's not entirely off the radar. It's a fairly popular movie, but we had a list of films that we wanted to watch, and so we'll sit down and watch the movies kind of to audition them occasionally. And we actually had several movies in mind, and we watched two of them back to back and realized that while they have great parts, they don't move very quickly, and it's either like the beginning's really good or the end's really good, but they don't it's going to be hard for us to kind of like get you to stay through the entire movie.
Sure, yeah.
And so being the summer and just kind of thinking about, going to a big air-conditioned mall and hanging out, which is something I probably would have done 20 years ago. But it just like Chopping Mall was kind of on the shelf and Chayse brought it up and it's like, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a list of like a stack of movies that we've kind of pulled, and we want to like revisit them, sit down together and watch them and kind of vet them. And to answer your question, there is like a set criteria that we, just benchmarks that we've made.
A lot of thought goes into this. It's not just like, let's just grab something.
We want to make sure the pacing is good. It's like, to a certain extent, something that some of the people that are attending haven't seen. They don't know what they're getting into. Typically, when people come out, it's like half the crowd has seen it and half is like going in completely blind.
And that's pretty true even for the bigger ones.
Yeah, yeah. Even for Return of the Living Dead, half of them hadn't seen it.
I don't know if I've seen it, actually. Isn't that the one? I mean, I recognize the poster. It's got like the punk rock zombies on the front. But isn't it kind of a, I don't know what you would call it, but it's kind of making fun of zombie movies in a way? Or is it more of a comedic? Is that the one where he's like, get the damn screwdriver
Did you
out
say
of my
Return
head?
of the Living Dead?
Oh, that's
this
part
is
two.
part-
That's
Yeah.
part two, yeah.
I was about to say, I know we had that on the wall.
So it is lighthearted, but it's spooky at the same time. I don't know how they did such
So they
a
got
good
some
job.
jokes in there, but it's not like a goofy.
I'll
It's
say
meant to be.
it's pretty goofy, but it's also a pretty bleak movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's both.
It
It's-
actually-
but they do it so well. They like just
It is
they
one of
toe the line.
It's like where the zombies talk, though. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like maybe I have seen that.
Send more medics.
Yeah,
Okay.
send more cops.
Is that the one where he picks up the head? He's got a screwdriver, and he's like, "Get the damn screwdriver out of my head." Is that from that movie?
It's not in that one, but
It's not in that
probably
one.
another
Okay.
one.
Well,
Maybe-
somebody out
maybe.
there, comment, let us know. But yeah, man, like it seems like a lot of the movies and kind of the turn of these like straight to video, maybe around the 80s, and y'all probably know the timelines better. But it seemed like there was a switch that was flipped, and suddenly anybody who could get access to like cheap video equipment was like, let's make
a movie.
a horror, not just a movie, a horror movie. It seems
Yeah,
like
it was always a horror movie.
it's always a horror movie, and that was one of my questions. It's like when everybody, you know, you go to the local film festivals or anywhere, it just seems like horror is like not the only genre, but definitely the most popular. And I feel like, you know, a lot of the filmmaker friends that I have, they all gravitated towards that genre. It was like when they wanted to
it's
start
cool,
making movies
man.
and getting cameras and getting their hands on some DSLRs and stuff. It's like, dude, let's make a horror movie. Let's make a horror movie. And I always wondered, is like, what is the draw?
Yeah.
To filmmakers starting out and wanting to just jump headfirst into horror.
When it comes down to like budget, like if you're doing it at, like on a shoestring budget, maybe you have like a couple $1,000s, or maybe you just have a VHS camcorder and like that you and an idea. Like I feel like people are just more passionate about horror when there's like no money on the line, and you can get it done effectively. It's hard to make like a
Well, there's definitely been some hits.
romance,
You know?
maybe.
I
You
mean,
think heavy ultra? You think we could take that old school camera and make a heavy ultra horror?
oh, sure, 100%. I don't know what it would be about.
It's
We
guaranteed.
we
It'd be about
to write
the,
a
it'd be
story.
the haunted podcast or something.
Yeah,
Like the mics come alive. Come on,
the
man.
mics come alive.
Yeah, yeah.
I found
Actually,
a VHS camcorder, like the big guys, not the
Shoulder rig.
Yeah, not the mini one, like the it's a straight up
It
like
takes
VHS
a full
cam.
VHS tape.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I found one of these at the Gardendale Pickers or something, and I really want to. I want to make a movie.
And it's gonna be a horror movie.
We're gonna make a movie.
Okay.
TVs
We'll
of
see how
Terror
it goes.
presents
Yeah.
our own movie.
Yo,
Dude, you
that'd
could
be
start a
rad.
series like Tales from the Crypt or something.
That would be sick.
That would be cool. But yeah, I've always been curious just about like, you know, it seemed like the low budget filmmaker and the genre of horror, they just go hand in hand.
They do.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Obviously, the thousands of videos that you have. Some of them
Yeah.
kind of bigger studio productions, but I would imagine a lot of them are like kind of low budget, like some studio you've never heard of, you know,
Yeah.
filmed out of somebody's garage with a shoestring budget.
To be clear, half the tapes that I own, I wouldn't watch more than once. Some of them are really bad.
Really bad.
Actually bad and
hard to watch
have
alone.
and have no redeeming, you know,
Yeah, there's definitely
no rewatch value.
there's a fine line between a horrible movie that's great to watch and then just a horrible movie.
Right.
And,
And
I'm not sure how you define it clearly.
I have some of both though. Whatever
Okay.
you're into.
Whatever you're into, just
Yeah.
genuinely
but it-
terrible experience.
It
I
was
just wanna
still
suffer.
it was still approved and mass produced and published and put out there.
Yeah, it's
Somebody
crazy
greenlit
to
it.
think. Like some of these movies, man, they're like, you know, definitely have a little bit of money behind them. I'm like, it took an enormous effort to make this happen, for it to turn out so bad, and there's so many people involved.
Hey, but the artwork always seems to be cool.
That's
like
true.
the VHS artworks, especially everything you've posted, especially the other page we were looking at. It's like some of the artworks is just
Yeah, go to if you scroll down or up top in the description, the Mel.
Oh yeah,
Gate
Mel
VH.
Gate. Yeah, that's me.
yeah, these are so
So
cool.
scroll down, yeah, and I'll edit this in, but just some of the artwork for this. I'd imagine, do you have like all these on display at your house.
Mr. Ice Cream Man.
I'd love to show these
Mr.
tapes off.
Ice Cream Man.
And anybody that wants to talk about them, I love to just talk their ear off.
So what's the term?
great.
What's the term? Maybe you can answer this question. We got really into like after the Grindhouse films came out that Tarantino did. That kind of opened my eyes to that whole genre of just like exploitation. But what is an exploitation film? If you had to define it, like what does that mean?
Usually, the way that I heard it put was basically that maybe like a trend, like a movie is made that's like really big. And whatever topic that movie covers, whether it be like a cop movie, like a genre kind of takes off, a lot of people will then basically make these quickie movies that they just kind of put out like in quick succession to kind of make money off of that until the trend dies. And so I think a lot of people equate it with more like kind of sex and violence kind of stuff, where it's like, oh, it's exploitative of that, like it's an extremely violent
Just
movie.
film everything.
And, yeah, pretty much like a hardcore
X-rated,
film or something.
hardcore, yeah.
But no, it's more. I think it's more related just to trends. Like I mean, when Jaws came out,
I was going to ask you, yeah.
and there's a whole slew of shout out to Italy because they have sharksploitation. Italy did a lot of this where they would take a topic. They've done shark movies. I got a really great one called Cruel Jaws.
Jaws, yeah.
Which is actually only about 20% its own film because it swipes footage from Jaws 1, Jaws 2, The Last Shark,
wow,
Tintorera, I think. Yeah.
They actually took footage from the original movies and just put it in their own movie.
Yes, the theme song. What? The theme song actually, up to a point, is also the Star Wars theme, but it kind of cuts off at the end.
How do they get away with that?
It's
Italians, you
1995.
just can't trust
there
them.
was a tax credit to shoot in Florida, and they came over and they just brought a bunch of fake shotguns and pork roasts and went to town.
Man, well, I saw you reading the book. I was
At the beach.
I tried to do my homework, and I saw a photo of you reading this book called Cruel Jaws, and I was like, Cruel Jaws, is that what the original book was called? And then they just Spielberg just took Cruel off and made Jaws. Well, no, I was genuinely interested. I was like, whoa, what is this?
Well, no, Jaws is an actual book, but this is just a novelization. There's actually kind of a trend now in a lot of the cult film circles where they will kind of like VHS tapes and other things. Like, back in the day, they made novelizations of films, like it's based on the hit film. And so now
the book comes after the film.
Mm-hmm. Wow. But now as a marketing tool, but now it's kind of like that's not really done, but they'll make a novelization. Like some writers will actually make novelizations of like these cult films. Okay. And so Cruel Jaws is actually kind of a new book. It might be better than the movie. Actually, it's probably better than the movie.
Yeah. Well, usually the books are.
Cruel Jaws also was not marketed in the U.S. as Jaws 5. In that it was, but there was a cease and desist.
Really? Yes. I was about to say, at what point do they cross that legal threshold? I mean, when you're stealing footage from the other movies,
Well, yeah, I don't think it had a long run either on video or in theaters in the U.S. But
you get your hands on one, yeah.
Well, they released it on Blu-ray, and I shouldn't have bought that. But
well, apparently you can do one or the other. You can either steal actual footage from the movie and put it in your movie, or you can have it be a sequel to the franchise. But you can't do both. They were trying to do both. A good example of the latter is Troll 2 is not a sequel of the movie Troll.
Right, it has nothing. There's no trolls in it.
Again, Italians. Yeah. Can't trust them.
Can't trust them. So do you call that a spaghetti horror? Or is that...
What?
Do they do that?
You're making stuff
up. I think technically that would count, yeah.
I know spaghetti westerns are like a big deal, Again, Tarantino with the... what was that? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Meatloaf movies? What are we talking about over here?
Never heard that term, spaghetti western?
I've heard of spaghetti western, but I never understood it. What does that mean?
It's Italian westerns.
Well, yeah. So a lot of times,
that's the way I understood it. Am I wrong?
They would go over to Italian productions would go over to like Spain to shoot these westerns, but they'd be because they're Italian productions of westerns, so they're not actually. They take place in the west of the U.S., but they're not actually really westerns.
I learn something new every day. I've heard the term, but I never put two and two together.
I like spaghetti horror.
Spaghetti horror. Yeah. Okay.
Am
I the first one to do that? Am I coining that term?
I have no idea.
Spaghetti horror.
I love it though. But it's the Italians they did a lot of these exploitation movies of all different genres. Like there's an entire series of post-apocalyptic films that start with a year that's in the future of the time when the movie is made. Like 1990 Bronx Warriors, when the Bronx is cleared out and it's full of roving gangs.
Okay.
And the cops come in and they just want to tear the whole place down and get all of them out. And so there's a resistance and they fight back.
Dude, your movie knowledge, I bet is just endless.
It's useless. It's great.
How long have you been into this? Like doing like, it seemed like you're really into film, and do you have anything to do with like the Sidewalk Festival that's coming up?
I've volunteered there. I've screened movies for them, which is a pretty tough job.
Yeah,
I'll just say that. But yeah, I really enjoy the organization, the festival. I think it's one of the coolest things going on in Birmingham for sure. But no, I've never worked there. I'm not actually a paid sponsor.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Well, I think that's coming up in August. I saw a sign down the street. So yeah,
Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
film festival.
Should we mention this?
Can we mention
Whoa.
this?
I
think we've already
dropped something.
Uh-oh. Well, no, we're really excited about next month. We usually do a monthly screening at Saturn. We're not going to do one next month at Saturn, but we are going to have one as part of the Sidewalk Film Festival.
Okay. What venue?
At the cinema.
Okay,
dang.
sweet.
Cinema.
All right, sweet. Yeah, dude, that'd be
Nice.
awesome, man.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Can you let us know what it's gonna be, or is that too early?
I think we should do it.
Bum, bum, bum.
By God, let's do it.
1, 2, 3. Sleepaway camp.
Sleepaway camp.
Love doing the synchronized thing.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that, so
Check it
for
out.
anybody that wants to come check it out, what can they look forward to in Sleepaway Camp, and why that film?
Why that film?
Do you call
I
it
think
films like
Yeah,
I think
so.
yeah.
the
all-
straight to video VHS thing? Is it video or is it film? Do you call it film?
Well, I mean, I guess technically it would be video in a lot of cases because a lot of the movies being from the 80s are
they're shooting
shot
it on like handy cams and
yeah,
stuff.
and that's
Yeah.
a whole thing about like the move to like video and straight.
It
to
has a
video
look
stuff, but-
to it as well.
Oh yeah, no, you can very very much tell.
It's like, oh, that's a home video camera.
Yeah,
It doesn't
they're
matter
films.
if you're just going to call it a spaghetti horror anyway.
Well, yeah, no, we're just making up terms now. But
I
but
think
yeah, going back to
It just checks a lot of boxes for us. The pacing is great. I love the entire series, by the way. It would be hard for me to really name a favorite. I think we definitely landed on the first one just because it's iconic. A lot of people have an appreciation for this movie, and it'll just be one that people will be excited about getting out to, bringing their friends out and showing them. If you've been to one of our events, you know it's fun. There will be some changes, some additional surprises. It's always kind of a surprise, even to us, how they're going to go.
Back to Valentine's Day.
Yeah. But Sleepaway Camp is a great franchise. 1 through 3, anyway, are all really, really fun. I think the second one might be my favorite.
I've only seen the first one, so sorry to.
We're going to change that.
Okay.
is it like a slasher movie? I mean, it just
It's a
sounds like
slasher.
it just comes off with heavy Jason vibes. You know what I mean?
It's got a lot of heart, but it's like it's a slasher camp setting, but it's not. Well, I don't want to give anything away.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's fair.
I was going to say
It's
that
cool.
it's not your typical villain.
Okay,
different.
well now I'm intrigued. I'll have to YouTube the trailer or something.
What's it called? Sleepaway Camp?
Sleepaway Camp.
The
But
camp.
there's, I guess it was successful enough to warrant 2 sequels.
Pretty
I
good,
guess
pretty good
that's-
ones too.
Is it just 2? Does it go beyond that?
There's a 3. 3 is
I mean,
Teenage Wasteland.
2. There are 2 sequels.
Oh
to
yes.
It, so.
Actually, there's a 4th one that I know very little about, not even enough to talk about, but I've heard about it.
Well, dude, that's awesome. So how did that come about? Getting a spot at the festival, you know, especially like, do they? I mean, now that the Sidewalk has their own venue with I believe 2 theaters, do they still do stuff at like the Carver and McWayne and some of the other venues when they have the festivals? I haven't been to the Sidewalk Festival in a long
I don't
time.
know.
They're bringing the Carver back this year after
It's been
a bunch of renovations.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool theater. I mean, I'm excited to see what they've done with it. But yeah, yeah, they do screenings in both rooms at the cinema. They still do. I think they still screen at multiple screens in ASFA, and then also Carver. They use First something Church of Birmingham. It's like kind of halfway between Lyric in Alabama and ASFA. But yeah.
Have they ever done anything in Alabama?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I thought it was like citywide. It's like anywhere they could get a screen.
It kind of is, but it's all on the north side though.
Yeah,
So they
right,
have like
yeah.
a shuttle service that runs between all the theaters.
Man, we went one year and we watched this movie Blood Car. You ever seen that or heard of that?
Is that a newer one?
No, this is when I was volunteering. I was in college and we were volunteering at the film festival, and this was it's great, man. Oh, for you dudes, y'all be right. This would be right up your alley.
Sounds great.
It's basically it's in a world not too far from our own. If I'm not butchering the synopsis, but basically, gas has become so expensive that you can't drive.
Okay.
So no one can drive anymore. Well, this guy figures out a way. It creates an engine that runs off blood. And so he starts, and he's like he becomes like this popular dude where he's always been like a nerd. And now he's like got a running car and all the girls want to, be with him and stuff. And so he's conflicted because he's like living a double life, and now he's having to find victims to feed his car. It's like Little Shop of Horrors or something.
Yeah, it's like Little
That
Shop of
sound
Horrors, Mad Max, and Christine all thrown together.
Yes. It's called Blood Car, and it was cool, man. We went and saw it, and it's kind of funny. I mean, it's one of those movies that kind of makes fun of itself, but still, it's pretty good once you get into it. And there were some scenes, man, where it's like people got up and left the theater.
Whoa.
So I was like, okay, this is cool. Shout out Blood Car.
We're gonna have to do our homework.
Check it out. I'm glad
Yeah.
I could bring something to the table that you guys hadn't seen.
Always excited to check out a new movie. I've always liked those weird like one-off like horror screenings that they do at Sidewalk. Those are like Sidewalk is like one of the best events in Birmingham, like hands down. It's like one of the things I look forward to the most.
Yeah.
So it's a real honor to partner with them and be able to share some stupid movies there, and make idiots of ourselves.
That's where I saw Miami Connection too. Actually, that's it.
But I know a lot of people go to that festival with movies that they were a part of making or they were part of a crew. So with you guys, it was just like, hey, this is just one of our favorite movies. We just want to show it. Did y'all have to like go through the approval process? And I don't know what that process looks like or how that goes about. Like if I wanted to show something.
We did a
next
heavy
year's
ultra spaghetti horror.
the spaghetti horror that we're going to film. Yeah.
I mean, for the festival itself, usually, like in terms of that, like there is a submission process where they, you post, you send them the link to wherever it is on the internet, because it's usually like you upload it to a certain site and it's password locked and you get to screen it. But they would have to approve the movie and program and everything. But we know several people there, and they've actually screened Sleepaway Camp, I think, before, so they're really big fans.
So they've already seen it. So it's a little easier. Yeah.
But
definitely.
When I pitched it to them, they were like, "Oh, we love Sleepaway Camp. Let's do it."
I can't believe I've never heard of that. I guess that's something most people have probably not heard of.
I think it's one of those ones that's probably in the middle. I mean, I feel like the name is very
that's
much
the point,
familiar.
though. That's the point. It's like right there in the middle. It's like it's
popular enough, but yet you still could. A lot of people would be experiencing it for the first time.
Right.
Which is cool.
It's accessible. It's mainstream enough, but it's also just kind of. It's not like Hellraiser or like Friday the 13th. You got to dig a little bit deeper to get to like the better versions of those movies sometimes.
Yeah.
Not that I mean it's a great series, but
well, sweet. Well, I'm looking forward to Chopping Mall. Now, going back to your personal collection here, are you still kind of? Do you buy and sell, or are you like part of like? Is there any like other people in town that are like kind of into this niche hobby of collecting and selling old VHS tapes?
Very few people in town. I know BJ Wilbanks is into collecting, and I think maybe a few other people.
David Brown.
Yeah, David Brown and I think Tyler Jordan, to name a few. But
I just had a really cool idea. We should screen some movies at your place, man. That'd be cool. All right, hear me out. We could set up a screen. I know a guy. We could do a screen and a projector and all that.
We've been down this road.
And Zach has the venue. It's small, but it's like it would be like a big open. I'll show you pictures after. Okay. I'm serious. This would be cool. If there's ever a month where you can't do, or maybe you want to just throw some more stuff on your calendar, this would be cool.
Yeah, sure.
We could talk about this.
Absolutely, yeah. What are you volunteering me for?
Just have like a movie thing.
No, we're doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing it with or without you.
I'm down for movie nights. That's rad.
We tried doing like a Christmas movie thing, but like do that.
It was awesome. Sold out event.
It was huge, man. Lines down the street. But we could do that with like the horror thing, especially around like we're not too far removed from like October and horror season coming
just
up.
around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, every season is horror season, but
Every season's horror season.
It is.
That's what's cool that you guys kept it going. I thought it was just like going to be like a Halloween.
We didn't
thing.
know it was going to keep going. We thought we were just going to do one, and then we had a lot of fun. It was too much fun, and we did another one, and it was even better. And people they would come up to us and say like, "We love what you like. This is cool. What you're doing is cool. Keep doing this." So we just kept doing it, and I don't know. I feel like it's getting to a point where it's like kind of taking off and gaining some popularity, and people come out.
Well, the entire city's going to be there after this podcast, fellas. I'm going to go ahead and warn you.
Yeah.
I'm prepared.
All 10s of them. But yeah, have you guys seen like kind of the numbers grow? I guess as you guys have done this, and people are like, "Hey, man, there's this awesome," and it's a free event. I mean, for what else are you going to do on like a Tuesday night?
How are you going to turn down free pizza, free like movie candy, popcorn?
Are you guys funding this yourselves? Just the
chance,
passion and love of cinema? For
Yeah,
doing
I
this?
mean, no, yeah, we do not.
The exchange rate is high on that. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just I'm only doing paid sponsorships through major corporations, not like.
Well, I guess people are buying booze. I mean, while they're there, so Saturn's making some money.
Well, that's kind of the deal. Basically, is that it's free to some degree. We get we kind of pick and choose, but it's like things that we can get reimbursed for. It's not like a huge bill, so it's like we're providing a lot of the decorations ourselves. But yeah, like I mean, Saturn helps out and everything because Brian really enjoys the event.
Yeah.
Several of my coworkers come every time, and it's it's just we just get away with doing it because it's low overhead, and generally the return is that like the bar gets instead of just having a bar night where it would be maybe someone shows up, maybe no one shows up. We have like a guaranteed at least for 2 or 3 hours.
You're gonna have like
50
a crowd
or so people,
especially on a night where you don't have a show. Like you don't have an act. It's just one more thing. It's like, hey, let's do something fun to fill this night and bring people in.
Yeah.
So it's mutually beneficial, which is
right.
cool.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a nonprofit for us, but it's definitely profitable in other ways. Like we get so much value out of just sharing movies that we're excited about, and hope that other people also dig it.
Dude, I dig it. I think it's awesome.
No, it's a
cool.
really thrilling thing to show a movie and seeing it kind of. It's like, watching a movie alone can be gratifying, just enjoying the movie itself. But then when you watch it with other people, especially if it's a shitty movie, you get a lot of fun. And these aren't like, I wouldn't say a lot of these are shitty movies, but they aren't movies that are obviously like, this isn't awards bait. This isn't going to bring the directors or whoever's in the movie any acclaim necessarily. Or maybe they didn't in their time and now they're more appreciated. But like screening a movie in front of a bunch of people and seeing it, having them react to it, whether positively or negatively. Most of the time, it's positively.
A lot of laughter.
It's a lot of fun.
I was about to say, do you get people that like, I don't know, do the whole Rocky Horror thing, where they're like talking to the screen and like interacting? And
if
stuff?
there's a like a very heavily quoted part or something, like everyone will chime in, or just a lot of laughter and ohs, or like whatever.
Because a lot of it is like movies that are taking themselves seriously, but no one can take seriously when you're watching it.
Yeah. But like this is like our, I don't know. He knows how to cook. I can't really. I mean, I cook for myself, but like I don't like cooking. And there's a phrase. This is probably not a phrase, but like people love cooking for other people. Like this is my version of cooking for other people. I like to curate. Like,
I know what you mean.
Curate these kind of like fun moments where we can share that with each other, and I think it's just a better way to watch a movie.
Well, and the food is literally part of the part of the whole deal, because we're bringing you in with the free pizza, but then like for certain events we'll do special things. Like for Thanksgiving we made a turkey and then we got Cracker Barrel catering instead of pizza, and that was a discovery. What? I'll tell you.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy.
And then we got a honey baked ham for Christmas. Someone's made some cookies for us for Valentine's Day. A friend of ours made some special cookies. Batter, Ashley Jenkins. And then for the fog, we made fish sticks.
Whoa.
And gave them away.
We actually cooked them and people ate them.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. They were excited.
Okay.
Fish sticks. It was good.
We ate the other 20 or so afterward upstairs playing pool. So, they went to a good home.
Well, that's fun, man. That's cool. And so what can people expect this Tuesday? I mean, we've talked about the film, but you guys are doing pizza night, I guess. That's like the staple, I guess.
Yeah.
The standard. Yeah.
We might find some other fun little things to throw in there. We usually try and try and spice up the event with interesting decorations, a themed drink of some sort, and then
we keep the gags up our sleeve mostly. We do have like just like little bits that we do. I don't know. It just brings up the show a little bit.
Dude, that's so fun, man. What a cool thing to just start doing, just for fun. It's like, let's put on this event, and then you have like people that you don't even know that show up, and everybody's there having a good time. And I don't know.
Well, yeah, we've got like a series of regulars that come kind of back and forth, like not all the time, but you see a lot of familiar faces. But then we get a lot of. I mean, Saturn itself is cool because it brings in a lot of people every different night, like that just you've never seen before. A lot of people's first time, and then having different people. Like every movie might have its own built-in crowd.
Yeah.
And then, it's a particular night, like, well, I wasn't working tonight, so I can come out and see this. I really wanted to see one. And, it's fun. It's just really fun to get up there and goof off for like 2
Would you
hours.
guys be open, like if there's any up-and-coming filmmakers in the city that came to you and like, hey, man, like let's partner up and screen the horror movie that you guys are going to...
spaghetti.
The heavy ultra spaghetti horror that we're going to put together.
Hell yeah. If you bring us a horror movie...
Dude, how cool would that be?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like a locally made, locally shot.
I mean, it's only fair that if we screen our own movie, then we would screen someone else's. I mean, in a way, we did with Sist. So
True. That's very true.
I did have
cool.
Greg Sestero, though.
Have the cast and crew there, do the whole like Q&A afterwards. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Oh, we could just do we could actually make the event like kind of work around the movie, like anything from the movie we could pull out and just do again for an audience.
Oh yeah, I think they did that with the Troll 2 guys. They like reenacted a scene on the stage or whatever.
Oh, they love to ham it up.
Well, dude, there was another question I was going to ask. Going back to the events at Saturn, what happened to Vintage Video Game Night? Maybe you could answer that question. They're not doing that anymore. Is that correct?
Yeah, the long and the short of it really is just that it was a pain in the ass to set up.
Oh, I didn't think about all the stuff that you have to dig out.
Like there are a lot of games that were kept in the back, but a lot of it is stuff a lot of it is like about half of it's retro video game systems that some of them are like kind of coming apart. So
they're like on live support.
Yeah,
so.
Like they'd have to be transported back and forth between a warehouse and there, and so it takes all day to set up, and you have to. There's a tournament that they had, and like it's a lot of work, and we'd leave it up for 2 days to kind of let it run, and there were a lot of nights where it just didn't hit.
It didn't hit.
There were nights when it was really good. I mean, it was a really fun event. And there's no guarantee it's gone for good, but it might come back in just a different form.
I was just curious. You got me thinking about it. I saw the post that was like, "Hey, this is gonna be our last Vintage Video Game Night," and I was like, "Man, I bet that's because just the venue of Saturn, having all the video games and stuff. It's just a rad place to hang out." And then doing that whole thing, I was like, "Dude, I would think that would be like a huge hit."
Oh,
and
so
then
much.
They were like, "No, we're not doing it anymore." But I can't. I didn't really think about all the work that goes into it.
Yeah, I used to do it at Bottle Tree, so it was a lot of work. That was fun though.
So when you guys do the event, you're bringing the VHS up there, and I guess you take your own VCR. And
He's taking his living
plug
room,
into the system.
Yeah.
Component or a composite video cable.
Yeah, we have a composite out into the TV, and then we also have that splitting to an HDMI adapter, and then that HDMI adapter has a Cat 6 cable.
Okay, so just as many cables as you could possibly link together.
Right, there's like 4
the
cables.
The shittiest
involved.
quality you could possibly have on the screen.
If you were just going straight composite, like watching
like that far.
Well, I mean, yeah, like there's so much degradation of any signal over that far, and
that adds to the experience and stuff.
Well, yeah, that's part of the gimmick of showing it on VHS is that you're getting like these tapes that have been around a while. Some of them are still in really good condition. Some of them are in really bad condition.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing is like you renting a VHS tape or something. It's been well loved, and it like you play it and it dips out a little bit, and it's got that. Well, it's people use that kind of grainy VHS effect filter on a lot of images and video, and because it's that nostalgic thing. But this is what it used to be
genuine,
like, except now we're blowing it up to the size of the venue, and it's sometimes it actually looks surprisingly good, and sometimes it doesn't.
I do warn everyone ahead of time, like just so you'll know, like this is the whole shtick. Like we show these are all on VHS, so that we're bound to run into problems. Like you'll get dips in audio. Sometimes the video will completely go out for like 3 or 4 seconds.
Have you guys had any like major malfunctions where
Well, that's the
tape
Valentine's
just
Day
broke?
thing. Well, the tapes so far have survived. It's just the
adapters,
like that's
actually.
the adapters that went
Yeah,
out for Valentine's Day.
Some of the equipment that we invested in.
Oh, you just have to take. Hey guys, just
It's all
let's-
apart.
go get a
Let's-
beer. We're gonna get it fixed. We'll get back up.
Luckily, I've had several years of troubleshooting experience.
And we've only had one time where we had to switch just off of the VHS format.
Knock on wood.
We got through. Sorry, yeah.
I guess you could find it online and just play it off a computer.
A lot of
as a
these
backup.
a lot of these movies, yes, are available there. Several of them though are just. I mean, I don't know how you would watch. Well, never mind. I guess YouTube is how I watched Elves. But yeah,
Demon Warp. I don't know if that's on.
I think it might actually be on YouTube.
Maybe. Okay.
Dude, I listened to an interview with Rob Zombie. I don't know how you feel about him, but his knowledge of like old films and stuff is pretty interesting. And he talks about some of these movies that he couldn't find anywhere. Like you couldn't find a digital version of it. Basically, he would like DVR these movies when they would play on like AMC or Turner Classic or whatever, and that was the only way that he could get like a digital copy. And I think there's some service out there now where if you have a tape, I don't know if that's legal or not, but maybe he sends them the tape or something, they digitize it for him and give it back, or maybe maybe you can just do it at home now. But it was pretty cool to hear him talk about like some of these old, way out there movies, like God, what was the one he talked about? Cannibal Holocaust or something. Some of these like, and maybe that movie's more popular than I thought, but like
I don't think it is. I'm nodding because like
have you seen that?
I used to have that one.
But he just talks about some of these old films that he would want to collect and like get something to where he could preserve it because he was so worried that like the one copy of some random tape that he found in somebody's garage sale was gonna eventually break or quit working or something. So I don't know if you run into that, being the collector that you are.
Yeah, well,
do you have anything that you're worried like, oh, I don't want to put this in a VCR, or like I don't want it to get eaten,
Oh no, I have that fear all the time because I have had VCRs that I've had to just like take apart to get my tape.
Oh no!
Get it back
my
out.
God,
Oh, dude,
it's such a nightmare.
Especially that $2,000 tape you were talking about or whatever.
Yeah, I have to like pray to the VHS gods when I put that one in. But I think half of the fun is like preserving those like it's not somebody's got to save these tapes from the trash cans that Goodwill is throwing them in. And I think it's cool to see them digitized and treated like Blu-ray, like certain Blu-ray teams have like kind of preserved some of my favorite movies.
Has there ever been anything, and maybe this is a question for both of you guys, being like kind of the film nerds that I'm taking you as being.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you guys have wanted to find that you haven't found?
Ooh.
Or something out there you're still searching for?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna get this eventually.
Video Violence 2. There's a sequel, and it's
Video Violence 2.
Video Violence 2. Yeah.
All right, I'll keep an eye out if I
It's
come
not
across
on.
it.
Well, they've actually released Vinegar Syndrome released both of those on a Blu-ray together. So that's. I mean, you can't. I don't. This is not VHS, of course, but
I'm looking for the VHS.
I know. I'm just saying. But
So it's not good enough just to get the digital copy of it. You know,
No.
you want like the original.
Well, it is.
Yeah,
sure.
It is about. It is about
the thrill of the hunt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the thrill of the hunt.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So where are you searching? You said most of these. That's crazy to think that like thrift stores wouldn't see the value in some of this stuff.
I
That
message
you're just
collectors online.
sure, you're probably part
I'm
of
in a
all
bunch of groups that like tons of collectors. So I just like message them if I've heard a lead from someone else. It's like, oh, I think they have that movie. I'll just kind of seek it out. You could 10 years ago go to a thrift store and maybe get lucky, but estate sales, Facebook Marketplace, like people just dumping a bunch of stuff, don't know the value.
I guess with the power of the internet now, it's easier to like specify what you're searching for versus just coming across something randomly. Yeah.
But also
'Cause, I
it
mean-
works both ways, and they're Googling how much things are, and they'll want like way too much for like really shitty tapes.
Well, it's just crazy to think. Like I'm looking at your profile right now, and it's like, or your VHS collector's profile that you have. And I've never heard of any of these movies. Night of the Creeps, Hardware, Zombies versus Mardi Gras.
That one I've never heard of.
You know, just all these different movies that I guess are like plays off other movies. It seemed like I came across one that was like a rip off the Toxic Avenger, but it was like
the radioactive reporter.
Yeah, radioactive reporter.
I knew exactly which
I was
one you were
like,
talking
what
about.
the hell? Like, come on.
Yeah,
But I guess that's commonplace in like the whole B. Would you call these B movies? Is that what they are? Are they?
Is there less than B? D?
There's actually it goes
C
to Z.
movie?
Z.
There's Z
Z
grade
movie?
movies. Yeah.
Z grade movies.
See, I would say like some of the movies that you would. I guess like Night of the Creeps that's a B movie, right?
I think it's definitely.
How would
yes.
you define a B movie?
I mean,
first
it's
of
an
all?
I guess
A-list.
that's what we
It's
need
an
to
A-list
figure
B movie, but
A-list, huh?
I mean, I think it's really good.
It's subjective. I mean,
It is.
This is very subjective. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But I
probably-
classify B movies as being like something that's maybe like straight to VHS release. You know, it never hit a theater. It never really went through some mass distribution. You know, it was just
Right.
kind of just put out there. It's like, well, hopefully people will watch it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the B movie thing was technically like it's the second movie that plays at a double feature at a drive-in or something, and so technically it's gonna be like
yeah.
That totally
No, no.
makes sense.
That
now.
totally makes sense.
Man,
yeah.
I never thought about
A
it.
movie,
Right.
B movie,
A side,
yeah.
B side, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of times I think B movie just becomes this umbrella term where it's like any movie that's not basically it's not an A grade movie. It doesn't have A-list stars. It's not by an A-list director. It's something you would see, playing on a double bill somewhere, and you're just like, oh, I guess I'll go see this movie too since I've already paid for the one.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you guys go to the Coyote Drive-In at all?
I love the
Check that out?
drive-in.
That's pretty cool,
Yeah.
man. It's really rad.
I loved it when Sidewalk did their drive-in edition because I got to see Roadhouse sitting on the roof of my car.
Really?
And me and a few people watched Halloween sitting out at the back of our car.
That's
And
what I
it's-
did.
yeah.
Yeah,
At Coyote?
I went to that one.
So Sidewalk, I guess, partnered
During-
with them and did something.
Yeah, during their COVID, during 2020, they decided they already had the festival planned, but they basically just moved it to the drive-in. And
Okay, I thought I was
logistical
gonna
nightmare
read about it.
apparently.
Sure.
But it was
Glad
kinda cool.
they did it.
Yeah.
I appreciate all
Well,
the work
and-
that went into that.
And then Jasper Mall played there.
yeah.
That's the-
Jasper Mall. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's brilliantly made. I say that biasly because my music is made in it, or I contributed to music too.
Well, you say Jasper Mall. I was asking, is this a local thing?
Yeah, it's a Jasper Mall is a documentary about Jasper Mall.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's
Okay.
like a year in the life of a dying shopping mall.
Dude, that's so
which actually fits
interesting.
with
And
the
it just it's just following these like individual stories of people struggling, like running their shops and keeping them open. No one's going to the mall, and
Dude,
just follows the lives of these people, and it's
it's so
great.
crazy you say that because I've watched all these YouTube videos where these dudes go and watch. Like he did the Western Hills Mall and stuff, and he just goes to all these malls around the country, and it's like these dying malls that maybe have like one more store,
Yeah.
and like he went to one and it was super creepy, dude. He was like, I can't believe I'm able to just walk in. Like this mall is completely empty, music's playing, and there are literally no stores. Like the mall is just like. It's like something out of a horror movie.
You can almost hear the death rattle.
Yeah,
just like-
and there's like parts of it. And it looked like the Galleria. I mean, it was on that scale. It was huge. It had a huge fountain in the middle that was just dry. They turned the water off, and he's just walking around filming this mall.
yeah.
And so I just got off on this. It's crazy YouTube. You just get on this like these rabbit holes of like random. It's like, dude, okay, well, let's check it out. You know,
Yeah.
people going to abandoned malls,
mall
stuff.
walking.
Urban exploring, or whatever you call it. Yeah.
The directors of Jasper Mall have a new documentary called
It's a butterfly in the sky.
Yeah, Butterfly in the Sky. It's
It's about reading Rainbow.
it's about reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Butterfly
Yeah.
in the sky.
Yeah, I think it's gonna play opening night at the festival this
yeah,
year.
it's going to be the opening night movie. So check it
Speaking
out.
of reading Rainbow, they did like a crowdsourced thing with the. I saw some video and it had like the dude that hosted the show from
his
Star
name?
Trek, or
LeVar
whatever.
Burton.
Oh yeah, LeVar Burton. Mhm.
And they showed his reaction when they showed how much money that crowdfunding or whatever it was did, and he had this whole pitch about how we need to teach people to read and stuff. So I guess did that go anywhere? Did Reading Rainbow come back, or maybe this documentary
No,
will
I think
answer
you'll
that
get
question?
I think you'll get your answers.
It's like because I know there was a bunch of money, and you can YouTube it. It went viral for a minute. This was maybe a couple years ago, where they showed his reaction to how much money that people were contributing, and I was like, okay, Reading Rainbow's coming back, but I don't know.
Somebody's
I guess
gotta teach these kids to read.
Somebody's got to do it.
Do you have any tapes of reading Rainbow episodes?
I can
I feel like
find them.
I feel like it'd be fun to show before the movie.
Wishbone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, I remember Wishbone.
Wishbone. All right, last thing. Were y'all fans of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course, you had to be.
Yeah. Okay, so like, I don't want to put you on the spot, but like Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Goosebumps.
Yeah,
for
probably
sure.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps had a bigger influence in my life. I got Monster Blood Part 2 right there.
Yeah.
I've got Night of the Living Dummy right there.
I had stacks of Goosebumps.
I had
books.
stacks of Goosebumps. And then I bought, shout out to the guys at Sanctum, they actually had a whole book about the artwork of R.L. Stein.
It's a rad looking book.
Really rad.
And so it talks about the guys that did the artwork. And the book I want to get was the first Goosebumps that I watched I don't know what came first, the books or the TV show. But I was into both.
I
And
think
there
it's
was
the books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would've
Oh, I
said
know the books came first, but for me personally,
Oh,
I don't know if I
got
saw
it.
the show first before I started reading the books or vice versa. But Stay Out of the Basement.
Oh, that was a good
There's a
one.
cool article about that artwork for that particular book. It was actually done by a different artist than the other artwork because all the other artwork, they wanted to make it, I'm nerding out right now, but they wanted to make the artwork scary enough to make it horror, but at the same time not too scary because they're trying to catch young
market to
readers,
kids,
you know what I mean, and appeal to kids. And I think he did it so brilliantly, this kind of cartoony, almost goofy artwork that's still scary, but at the same time, it's not too scary where your mom's like, you're not reading that, you're not some Stephen King thing or something. Yeah. And so this book that I got was actually pretty cool. That's a long-winded way of saying yes, Goosebumps for sure. But Are You Afraid of the Dark was still cool, man.
I think Are You Afraid of the Dark had like a little bit of a darker spin to it.
I think it did too. And there's several episodes that, like, to me, that stand out, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's freaking scary.
I think about a few of them every now and then. Still
There's one
kinda
where
freak
there's
me out.
this like ghost monster that was invisible, but if she poured a certain chemical on it, it was now visible,
I know
like
that.
iodine
Yes,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
And it was in the pool.
Yes.
And she fell in the pool, and then there's this invisible monster, or she's in a raft or something, and it starts bumping the raft, but
Yeah.
she can't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
The one with the girl that had died, I think, and like was trapped in this like mirror land, like this.
I
like,
remember that. Yeah.
reverse world or something. That was creepy.
I like the one with Gilbert Godfrey as the dispatcher in the Netherworld. Like the kid is obsessed with death and gets in a hearse and like ends up on the other side.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's several episodes. The ghouling, there's something where they're all like drooling blue.
Oh, the
Foam.
comic book.
It's like a comic book comes to life.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that one's really scary. And there was another one that was like, this guy can't go to sleep. He robbed a bunch of like gold and stuff from this like cursed pirate ship that he found. And because he did that, he can't go to sleep, or like all the water zombies of the crew will come and get him.
I remember that one.
So he's like nodding off, and every time he's nodding off, it shows him coming out of the water. So he has to wake up, and somehow he passes on to this kid, and then the kid's got to figure out how to like
unfuck himself.
unfuck himself because he can't sleep, because it's like, if I go to sleep, the zombies are going to come drag me into the water.
Oh yeah.
I guess any of the water-based episodes were like terrifying to me. I don't know. Yeah.
do you
Are
like
you
to
afraid of the
swim?
dark? I love swimming. I love the ocean.
Good.
Scared of sharks, obviously. Who isn't?
I mean, just
But
the
yeah,
Italian
going back
ones.
to Cruel Jaws, man, that was one of the things I want to see.
Yeah.
I was a huge Jaws fan, as many people were. And when I saw you reading that Cruel Jaws, I was very intrigued. I was like, what is this? And then I watched the trailer. Or I watched a video breakdown. Everybody's got a YouTube channel now of this guy like dissecting the trailer in the movie, and he's showing I think he mentioned, he's like, yeah, they just straight up stole scenes from the original Jaws. And,
It's crazy. You can tell like the different. I guess when they made the movie, like the transfers that they had, or the film reels that they used for it, were just all in different conditions. So you can tell when it cuts to like a different part of the film.
It's like darker, grainier.
It's like, why is this shark more detailed than this shark? This is just a boat with a shark painted on it.
They showed one. It was so goofy. It was just like a little model shark in the water.
It's
like a little
looks
rubber,
like someone's
like
fish
on
tank or something.
string.
Yeah.
So
And a lot of shotguns, a lot of pot roast. They actually borrow a lot of lines from Jaws too. Like they quote almost directly.
need a bigger boat.
Oh yeah.
think we need a bigger boat. Yeah.
Well, dude, this is fun, man. I feel like I learned a lot about old school VHS tapes and kind of what you guys are trying to do. And you guys said you do this event, the TVs of Terror at Saturn downtown. You guys do it once a month, and the next one
Tuesday
is
Tuesday,
coming up
the
Tuesday.
19th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Come
So
and watch
when-
Chopping Mall.
Does this release on Monday?
So this episode will release Monday. So everybody's listening to it right now.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the event. So go.
Oh.
It's a free event. You can meet Chase and Nick and talk to them about movies, and also eat some free pizza and hang out, watch a cool film.
We would love to do that with y'all.
Being that this is Monday and our event is tomorrow, Tuesday the 19th, I mentioned my friend Anthony in Under the Mountain. He does, it's kind of an alternating thing, like where he has every other month movie screenings. And so he actually has one on Wednesday, the 20th, at O'Neill Library, a movie called Gothic by director Ken Russell. It's supposed to be a pretty wild movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to throw that
Plug
out there.
that. Cool. And when that's at the O'Neill Library.
Mm-hmm.
And does he do that also once a month, or is this just like a
It's usually
one-off
like every
event?
other month.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of modern horror movies. One's kind of underseen, but it's also kind of he's helped out with a few events, and it's he also loves horror movies, and so it's just kind of it fits. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it's not quite as gimmicky as the TVs of Terror.
No, it's
thing.
really just like kind of just he gives you a reason why he's screens the movie. He does not throw popcorn or trash on anyone. He
Okay.
doesn't,
Which we have done.
He doesn't do the raffle to
Accidental, yeah.
humiliate you. And
No,
all that up
no,
front.
he's never-
No trivia, all that
No,
stuff.
so it's actually less fun.
Yeah, I guess we
It's
should
less
also,
fun.
maybe we should also say sorry to the guy that we threw actual trash on.
Officially say sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all threw trash on something?
On the record, so we had some staged trash. It was just very clean, dry, like
Plastic bags,
napkins.
Yeah, okay.
unused paper towels.
napkins.
I didn't just go rob the trash can out of the bathroom. Right. Okay.
And I think
didn't.
either him or other people had contributed to this trash can that we had put out.
We thought we had hidden it to the side,
Oh.
but they were sitting like 3 or 4 seats away from it. And during doors, him and his girlfriend or wife, I can't remember, they had a couple beers and they threw the cans away in the trash can that was not a real trash can. I mean,
it was
is a
set
real
aside
trash
as a
can.
prop.
Yes.
Yeah,
That they didn't know that
they didn't know
they
it
were
was
going to
a
get
problem.
asked to get dumped on them.
Well, we did. So we did ask them politely, like, "Can we dump trash on you at the beginning?" It's like totally for the movie.
We were
Or
acting
just-
like punks, and we picked them up and pushed them around, and then yeah,
So it was a bit you guys
Yeah, it was
were
a
doing.
bit.
But you
Okay.
threw actual
We-
trash.
yeah,
But then you threw actual trash on
we yanked him up out of his seat and we were pushing him around and like got a trash can and dumped some trash on him.
and I was just like, why
like,
is
oh,
there
shit.
water
Why
on me?
am I wet?
Why do I smell like beer now?
Oh no!
This is just some random guy. You're
Yeah.
like that guy.
Yeah.
Well,
he'll
it's-
do it.
He
Let's do
sat
this.
down in the front row, and you know,
So he was asking for it.
pretty
Okay.
much. I mean, and that was kind of our whole reasoning. Is just like
You've been warned. If you go to these events, don't buy a raffle ticket. Don't sit in the front row.
Well, raffle
I'm
tickets are free
kidding.
too.
Free
It's fine.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't pick one up if
Yeah,
you're.
just
Pick
don't-
one up. Yeah.
Or if they call your number, just it's not me.
Nope.
just don't sit near any.
No,
weird
do
trash
it. It's
cans.
fun. Go be a
it.
part of it. Come on. That's awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much. This was fun.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for
coming.
having us.
Thank you.